Hi, I'm Miguel Gutierrez.
And I'm Maria Velasquez. We're back and better than ever with some new faces.
This semester, we're introducing a new segment called Election 2012.
We will have a series of interviews with candidates who are running for office in Long Beach.
This week's show, we will have 2 exclusive interviews with Long Beach City Councilman Patrick O'Donnell of the 4th District and Daryl Superna, candidate for City Council of 4th District.
All this and more right after this, so stay tuned.
And now, for our top news, interested in makeup? Long Beach City College has a program just for you. LBCC is now holding a makeup artist certificate program from January 31st to February 9th. For more information, call 562-938-5051.
The Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Initiative has partnered with the Long Beach Community College District to help small businesses in the surrounding area grow and create jobs in 2012. Goldman Sachs has committed $20 million of lending capital, in addition to support from the community development institutions in LA County. More information is available at 866-680-9880 or by email at 10,000sb@lbcc.edu.
Interested in hybrid electric auto repair, homeland security, or supply chain logistics? Our spring lineup of grant-sponsored courses still have seats available. Classes are offered at no cost to eligible participants. You can call Veronica Rodriguez at 562-938-3064 for more details.
LBCC is hosting a book signing and lecture as fundraiser for the library. Award-winning author Amy Bender will be reading from her new release, The Particular Sadness of Lemon Cake. The event will be taking place on January 27th at 2 p.m. in room P104. Admission is $15 or free to students with ID.
We'll be back with this week's YouTube Top 3 right after commercial break. Don't change the channel.
Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. You can go to extremes with impossible schemes. You can laugh when you're dreaming.
Welcome back. Now let's go to Jerry Brandt, who has this week's top 3 YouTube videos.
What's up, everyone? I'm here with your YouTube top 3. The Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival has been a staple for summer concert goers since it started in 1999. This year, Coachella expands to 2 weekends, and the lineup clearly has music fans fired up, with both weekends selling out quickly. If you were lucky enough to get a pass, you'll want to check out all the great headliners, of course, but the beauty of this festival is the chance to discover new bands. And that's the focus of our YouTube top 3. On day 1, be sure to catch LA natives Dawes as they take the stage with their contemporary take on 70s folk rock. The band made many critics' top albums of 2011 list with Nothing Is Wrong, featuring the single Time Spent in Los Angeles.
You got that tragic set of charms that only comes from time spent in Los Angeles. Makes me wanna wrap you in my arms.
Merrill Garbus brings the unique styles of Tune Yards to day 2 of the festival. The song Powa is a personal favorite of mine, and watching Garbus create drum loops on the spot and layering them with ukulele, bass, and a newly added saxophone section is sure to be a can't-miss live experience. Finally, Fitz and the Tantrums, performing their hit song Money Grabber, brings their soul-influenced indie pop sound to day 3 of Coachella. Following up appearances on Conan and Jimmy Kimmel Live, the band should be a great way to close out your festival. That's it for this week's YouTube Top 3. Be sure to catch me on the Drinking Buddies podcast with new episodes every week in iTunes. I'm Jerry Brandt for IE News.
Thanks, Jerry. This year's Coachella lineup looks exciting. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. There is more IE News after this.
Welcome back to IE News. Glitz, glamour, and scandal on this week's entertainment report. Let's check in with Aide Vargas for the lowdown.
Hi, and welcome to this week's entertainment report. Big news for the king and queen of hip-hop, Jay-Z and Beyonce, as they announced the arrival of their daughter, Blue Ivy, on January 7th. According to US Weekly, the couple tore down several rooms and turned them into suites at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York. Rumor has it that other unlucky hospital patients weren't too pleased with B's special treatment. But I guess when you have an empire worth over $450 million, money really ain't a thing. With February right around the corner, Cupid is loose and love is in the air. For this week's marriage announcement, Halle Berry's boyfriend, Olivier Martinez, popped the big question, and the two were engaged over the holidays. Olivier sealed the deal with an emerald and diamond ring. Halle is no stranger to marriage. The sensational actress has been married twice before. She's definitely kissed a few frogs, so if the tale is true, the third will be a charm. In other news, Lindsay Lohan is in trouble again with the law. Surprise, surprise. This time it's with the IRS. Lohan was reportedly notified that she owes almost $94,000 in unpaid income taxes from 2009. According to TMZ, the actress was unaware of the issue until recently. Hopefully her recent Playboy paycheck can make things right with Uncle Sam. That's all the time we have for today. Make sure to tune in next time for more entertainment. I am your host, Aide.
Thank you, Aide. Scary light monsters, aliens, and demons. Our very own reporter Farrakhan gave us her take on the movie The Darkest Hour.
Hello and welcome to this week's movie review. Today we'll be looking at The Darkest Hour, directed by Chris Gorak. Emil Hirsch, who you may remember from Into the Wild, and Max Minghella from The Social Network play young entrepreneurs trying to make it big internationally. The Darkest Hour follows 5 young people stranded in Moscow in the wake of an alien attack. While on their trip, the boys meet 2 young ladies at a questionable club who accompany them throughout the movie. Olivia Thirlby and Rachel Taylor play 2 young women whose purpose was to keep male audiences awake. While running from the aliens that seem to disintegrate anything that comes into contact with it, the group finds that the only weakness of the aliens is brought on by a homemade laser machine. Now, I'm a huge fan of apocalyptic movies, whether it involves zombies, natural disasters, or aliens, but The Darkest Hour was one of the worst I have ever seen. From the over-the-top acting to the predictable plotline and subpar graphics, the film falls short in almost every aspect. While the movie attempted to create suspense around a cloud of twinkly lights, as an audience member, I just wasn't convinced or scared. With almost no character development, it was extremely easy to let go of major characters, thus dulling the overall appearance of the movie. The trailer may look promising, but The Darkest Hour left me disappointed, and that's why I'm giving it 1.5 out of 5 stars. I'm Fariel Khan at the movies. Thank you, Fariel. There's nothing like a little reggae to ease your mind. Let's check in with Drew Darnell, who has a relaxing album review for us.
Hello, and welcome to this week's album review. The inspiring lyrics, catchy melodies, and easygoing grooves are back in Revolution's 3rd studio album, Peace of Mind. So the question is, does the band continue to build on their success and release another great record? To put it bluntly, yes. Revolution has created an album that more than just reggae fans can appreciate, and that is what separates a great band from a good one. The album starts off with their hit single, Sky's the Limit, and continues to impress with each track. When the record gets to Route Around, the group really begins to expand their limitations. The pace of the album slows down with some acoustics, while Eric, the lead vocalist, really shows off his strengths as a songwriter. As the record continues, the listener can clearly hear the songs become more experimental. But don't worry, they never stray too far away from their reggae beginnings. Track 6, Life on the Line, has strong Arabic melodies sprinkled throughout the choruses, while the song Lady in White displays dark and heavy undertones. The work of the bassist Marley D. Williams and the drummer Wesley Finley really reflects the great rhythms that come out of each and every song on the album. You will easily find yourself moving your feet or swaying your head after just a few seconds into each track. There were 3 different versions of this album: regular, dub, and acoustic. The band also released many of the songs for free on their website to create more fans and get more publicity. Revolution clearly has an amazing understanding on just how the new music industry works in this decade controlled by the internet. It's unfortunate that many other artists just can't figure this out. This will easily be one of my favorite albums of 2012. Revolution truly is the biggest thing in reggae right now, and after this record, they will only get bigger. My name is Drew Durnell with this week's album review.
Thanks, Drew. Silicon Valley and more. Let's see what Keisha Hall has to say on this week's Tech Report.
Welcome to this week's Tech Report. Well, it's official. Now is the future. Man has evolved from throwing sticks and stones to crossing swords to dropping bombs to cyber warfare. Forget Gettysburg. There are multiple battles happening online that you can enjoy from the comfort of your own PC. Raising the level on online beef, a hacker group based in Saudi Arabia launched a month-long series of online attacks on Israel's stock exchange and national airline websites. Referring to themselves as Group XP, they claim to have gained access to over 400,000 Israeli credit card accounts. The hacking network called it a gift to the world for the new year to hurt the Zionist pocket. Israeli authorities confirmed that 15,000 accounts were hacked, none tied to the government. Never to be outshined, rockstar hacking group Anonymous flexed their muscles and unleashed their largest attack to date, starting with the complete deletion of CBS.com. Websites in Brazil, including ones for the Federal District, the city of Tangara da Sara, and popular Brazilian singer Paola Fernandes, were also struck. The attacks continued with the hacking of Vivendi, a French media company involved in music, film, TV, and video games. UniversalMusic.com was raided, followed by attempts of crashing the FBI site. Anonymous claimed the attacks were in response to the forced shutdown of file-sharing website Mega Upload and the arrest of its founder, Kim.com, by leaving the cryptic message, "If Mega Upload is down, you are down too." On January 21st, German-native.com-born Kim Schmidt was found hiding in the panic room of his rented mansion in New Zealand with a sawed-off shotgun at side. Since 2005, Mega Upload has made over $175 million and has caused a $500 million loss in media revenue by hosting pirated media. It lists hip-hop producer Swizz Beatz as the current CEO. Swizz, who is married to superstar Alicia Keys, was not named in the indictment. Before his arrest, .com was a YouTube favorite, popular for videos in which he's racing a Mercedes at 200 miles per hour, bathing in marble tubs, tanning on yachts, and cavorting with bikini-clad women. Oh, what a tangled World Wide Web we weave. That's it for this week's Tech Report. I'm Keisha Hall for IE News.
That was very informative, Keisha. And now we bring you to an IE News special with our Election 2012 series. Let's go to Michelle LaCour, who has a close-up interview with Patrick O'Donnell, current 4th District City Councilman, who is seeking re-election.
Hello and welcome to this week's Spotlight IE News interview, Election 2012 series with 4th District City Councilman of Long Beach, Patrick O'Donnell. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for inviting me onto the Long Beach City College campus. It's a beautiful Long Beach day, and I very much welcome the opportunity to be interviewed by you today.
Well, thanks for being here. Can you name 1 or 2 things that are particularly challenging on the west side of your district?
It's probably the biggest challenge would be getting the residents engaged. And I work awfully hard at trying to get the residents engaged. Many times with success, sometimes not. But that is, bar none, my biggest challenge over there, because an engaged community is a community that tackles issues together.
Right. Now, you're towards the end of your 2 terms here, and originally last summer you had decided to run for state assembly, is that right?
I talked about running for the state assembly for the reasons, very simply, I'm a teacher, I'm in a classroom, I see what's happening at my school, I read the paper just like you. My children are in grade school, I see what's happening to them, their class sizes have become larger. So quite frankly, I'm not going to apologize for thinking about running for the assembly. You know, I wish every teacher would and every parent would, because that's what needs to happen at some point. But yes, I did think about it, but my heart is really with my role as a city council member. It's something I can do when I walk out my front door. It's something I can do to move my community forward. And I believe I've done a strong job at that. I haven't hidden from the issues. We've had significant, we've had to make some big choices as city council, and I don't run from those. Evaluate them, tackle them, and help move the city forward.
When Bonnie Lowenthal decided she was going to run, did that affect your decision to get out of the race?
Well, there were a lot of things that affected my decision. Listen, I have small children. I can't be jumping on a plane, a couple times a week and be away from home. My wife coached our kids' soccer team. I can't imagine being away for that amount of time and gee, what's happening with the family? So there would be a significant disconnect there. And again, I had to go where my heart was, and my heart was with City Council. I appreciate that a lot of people wanted me to run for that office, and they saw it as a chance for education to have a louder voice, for sure. But I couldn't take that on right now.
All right. So during that time, you had been sort of mentoring or helping Daryl Supernaw run?
I'd had a few conversations with Daryl, giving him some advice, as I would probably anybody. And yes.
And so when you decided to get back in to the city council game and run as a write-in candidate, that was a real shocker for both John Watkins, who's running for the 4th District, as well as Daryl Supernaw.
Yeah, well, Daryl knew that I had some concerns with John Watkins was touting himself as the Tea Party candidate, and he knew that I had some concerns about that, and was saying to him, hey, someone needs to be out here and make sure that the 4th District has a responsible voice.
He said, quote, "It's unfortunate he's not honoring the vote of the people in terms of you running as a write-in candidate." John Watkins said that.
Well, I think what Mr. Watkins needs to do is go back and read the law. I think that, and going forward, should he be elected to the city council, be expected to read the law and master the law. And it's very clear in the city charter as to what the law is. And if you go back in history, we've had other candidates who have conducted a write-in campaign. Beverly O'Neill was elected to a 3rd term to mayor with the write-in. So the write-in has been used in the city. It's absolutely illegal. Read your city charter.
Do you think some people would say, well, Patrick O'Donnell has served 2 terms, and he's got a force and a support behind him, and maybe it's sour grapes on John Watkins' part that you're a game changer getting back into the race?
I'm sure. Listen, a campaign is a test, and sometimes the results of those tests are how people respond to changes during the campaign. And unfortunately, in this situation, we've had some hard feelings, and those hard feelings, the people are saying, suggesting that somehow I shouldn't run because they might not win. Well, this is democracy. This is how we do it in the United States of America, and I hope they would support that.
Okay. So tell us about our Long Beach City Council. How are we doing? How are we doing in terms of a city council? Are we working together? Are we a consensus council? Are we fighting each other? Is there a lot of backroom deals? I mean, how would you rate us in Long Beach as far as our government goes?
Okay, I would rate us as strong and serious on the issues that matter. This council has faced significant issues with the budget crisis, and I believe we've responded well. And that's certainly, with the help of Mayor Bob Foster, who was the president of Edison and knows budgets better than I ever will. And it's kind of led us through a process that hasn't been easy at all times, hasn't made everybody happy. But the fact of the matter is, when you walk in that door and you raise that right hand, you better be willing to make tough choices so the city can survive and thrive. And that's what we've done. As far as getting along at all times, there are times when passions boil and some frustrations show in public, and that's a natural given that environment. But the fact of the matter is, this is democracy. We're not always going to agree, nor should we always agree. So, you know, what you'll see is criticism. Well, look, you know, they voted 9-0, or look, it was a split vote. You know, you'll hear people say they should have voted 9-0 or they should never vote 9-0. Well, you know, this is democracy again, and we're participants in democracy, and I think we're doing a positive job to move the city forward.
So for people who maybe have never voted or don't, or they're in the 4th District and they don't know who Patrick O'Donnell is, what are 3 things you would want them to know about what type of councilman you are?
I'm experienced, I'm honest, and I'm willing to make the tough choices to move Long Beach forward. And I'll add a 4th, I'm accessible. I'm out there, whether it be my monthly meeting or when people contact my office. I'll come to their door, I'll return their phone call, and I'll make it happen.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here, Councilman.
Okay.
We really appreciate having you, and hopefully we'll see you again very soon.
Yes, I look forward to it, and again, what a beautiful day on Long Beach City College, and I thank you.
Thank you. This is Michelle LaCour for IE News.
Thanks, Michelle. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with more IE News Election 2012 coverage with candidate Daryl Superna.
So you're fresh out of high school, or maybe just recently lost your job. Wondering where to go from here. You're listening to the radio and watching a little TV when it hits you. A career in the entertainment industry. Well, swing on down to Long Beach City College and enroll yourself into the radio television program and make your dreams come true today. At Long Beach City College, where the sky's the limit.
Welcome back. Let's go to Michelle, who interviewed another 4th District candidate, Daryl Supernaw. Let's take a look.
We're here today with Mr. Daryl Supernaw, who is running for City Council 4th District. Thanks so much for being here, Mr. Supernaw.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Michelle.
So you used to be a Long Beach City College student, is that right?
That's correct. I'm an LBCC graduate, and my family has a history here too. My brother Bob is a graduate. Both my parents, Don and Virginia, were graduates of City College, and my grandfather, A.A. Supernaw, actually opened the school here and worked from about 1935 to 1950.
In what capacity did he open it?
Well, I think today you would probably call him a facilities manager. He's responsible for all the buildings and all the grounds.
That's a really nice history. And you're actually a lifetime resident of the 4th District, isn't that right?
Right. I grew up in the Stearns Park area, went to Buffum Elementary School, Stanford Middle School, and Wilson High School. And then I moved into the Cal State Long Beach area 32 years ago, and that's where I raised my family.
And they call you Ditch Boy. Tell me why they call you Ditch Boy.
Well, I've been trying to lose that moniker, but I think it's going to stick forever. Actually, years ago, we had a series of meetings at the Minigant Auditorium over the Atherton Ditch project. And from time to time, Councilmember Dennis Carroll, he'd get a question about the existing ditch, and he'd turn to me and say, Daryl, is that part owned by the county or the city and whatnot? And after about 3 or 4 of those questions, one of the reporters in the room turned to me and said, what are you, Ditch Boy? And so it kind of stuck at that point, but I embraced it, and you know, we had quite a success story with that project.
Was Patrick O'Donnell involved in sort of mentoring you?
Well, he encouraged me. We had several meetings, and yes, I would use that term, mentoring, and was fully supportive.
And then when he decided to pull out of the state assembly race, he later decided to run as a write-in candidate because he's termed out. He's served his 2 terms, and the only way to get a 3rd term is to write as a write-in candidate. Is that right?
Correct, and that's part of our ordinance. And ironically, write-ins or term limits, we should call it, started as a 4th District initiative. Tom Clark, who's affiliated with LBCC to this day, was a 30-year council member from the 4th District. And Dennis Carroll, who ultimately was a council member, wrote that ordinance to introduce term limits. So the policy is now you can serve 2 terms as city council, but your name cannot appear on the ballot after that point.
I see. And so when he made that announcement that he was running as a write-in candidate, how did that affect you?
Well, I guess, I wrote a letter to my supporters in the 4th District on this because I felt they had a right to know. Everyone, associated me with Patrick for many years. And I thought they should know exactly how this came down. I thought it would be awkward for those who knew the both of us as being so close. And what happened was I was told simply that he was considering it, and the next thing I knew, I read a press release that he had made the decision. So it was, I don't want to use the term awkward because I'm accepting it and moving on, and it's just fired me up all that more to be successful at this campaign.
Now, you're also in the race is John Watkins, and he actually has an endorsement from the Long Beach Chamber of Commerce. How does that affect the race?
Well, from my perspective is I want to represent the residents of the 4th District. I don't want to refer to any endorsement as a special interest, but they are nonetheless endorsements from folks outside the 4th District. And I want to be an independent voice for the 4th District, and so the endorsements, I think, is actually a detractor for those who get them.
I see. So tell us about your campaign strategy. How do you plan to win this race? You've got an incumbent who's relatively, you know, arguably very popular. You've got another gentleman, John Watkins, running in the race. He's got an endorsement. How do you do it?
Well, actually, I'm going out there as a nonpartisan, and in fact, City Council is a nonpartisan position. People are shocked to hear that because there's so much partisan politics involved. When they hear that I'm a nonpartisan, I've gotten very favorable reaction to that. A lot of constituents feel that it's partisan politics that is really wrecking the process. And so that's what I bring to the table, a lot of independence, and both of my opponents are affiliated strongly with political parties, and I am not.
And you also describe yourself as a community advocate. How do you think that's going to help your campaign?
Well, I think that shows that I have a track record more than anything else. And quite frankly, I've been very successful as a community advocate. As I mentioned, a $3 million infrastructure project. It's pretty rare that a private citizen orchestrates that. And I think it shows more than anything else as I care deeply about the district. And this is just my lifelong association with the 4th District, and I really care about what happens, and I care about the future.
And for those people in Long Beach, maybe who haven't voted before, that are in the 4th District, people who maybe aren't aware of you, what are 3 things that you would want them to know about you?
Well, I think that lifelong resident of the 4th speaks volumes. I'm not sure if that's happened in a council race before, but I know the entire district. As a businessman, I use vendors along the Anaheim corridor as sources for getting things done in business. The Stearns Park area, that's where I grew up. I know that very well. I know all the Schroeder Hall issues, which is where they'd like to locate the new East Division substation. I fought very hard with the residents there on that. And Los Altos, I know that area very well. So you asked for 3 things. I think I gave you 3 examples on one thing, but I guess that is it. I care so much about the district would be number 1. Number 2 would be my background, and that is I've been a business consultant for 30 years. I know how to attract business, and I know how to keep it here. I think that's a real big piece that people need to understand. And also, the seriousness of this particular race, I think, is very important. There's an assembly, Bonnie Lowenthal is termed out of her assembly seat in 2 years. Patrick O'Donnell has already indicated that he wants to be an assembly member. If we have a special election in 2 years, should Patrick O'Donnell win this particular council seat, the cost of that special election will be $127,000. And I don't think any resident here wants to pay that out of our general fund.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Supernah. We're happy to have included you in our Election 2012 series, and we're happy you could be here.
Okay, my pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome. This is Michelle LaCour for IE News.
On that note, it's time for us to go. Don't forget to tune into our next show where we'll continue coverage of the elections.
If you're interested in joining our team and make great television, you can call 562-938-4892.
So tune in next time for more IE News. That's it for today.
I'm Miguel.
I'm Maria. Thanks for watching.